about this Easter Sunday is that he is risen. And that has been ringing in my spirit this morning. I saw something and posted, and it just got me. It was titled, "Get Up." Because here's the thing, Jesus got up. He didn't stay in the situation that he was in. He didn't stay in a low place. He got up. And that's the message that's ringing in my spirit this morning, is for us to get up. We don't need to stay where we've been. If we've been in a depressed mind state, we can get up. If we've been in a low mind state in our finances, in our relationships, whatever it is, we can get up because he got up. And God is so good that he sent his son as an example here to show us what to do. Jesus didn't come just to get us out of hell. Okay? Not that that's not enough. That is enough. But he came so that we can get up where we are. We can get up out of whatever that we are in, whatever situation that we're in. Jesus is that example when he rose. So we see how he walked the earth. I talked about in Bible study on Tuesday night about how Jesus was here for 33 years. But the cross was a temporary situation out of the 33 years. Now, it was excruciating. It was tough. It was like, Lord Jesus, have mercy. I mean, just Lord, I say Lord Jesus, but with God, with Jesus, he could have said something else, but I know he said, can you take this cup from me? But not my will, but your will. So we see that it was a tough situation, but a temporary situation, because it was a page out of the book of his life here. Okay, but here's the thing. What we need to see is he got up. He did not let that page or that chapter dictate his whole time here. That was that period. And he rose from it. He overcame it. He did not stay there. And so many times in our life, we go through stuff and we act like this page or this chapter is all there is. It's all we're ever going to do. Or this position that we have in our life is the only place we're going to be. Like we're never going to rise again. But we are. And Jesus is that example that tells us that no, you're not staying where you are. No, you don't have to live in a depressed mind state. No, you don't have to live in lack. Why? Because Jesus got up. So you can get up too. And it's time for us to get up. Just because we're in a pandemic doesn't mean that we can't get up. Just because we're in a pandemic doesn't mean we have to live in a depressed mind state. Doesn't mean that we don't have to walk in our call. Doesn't mean that things aren't going to change or get better. We can get up too, just like he got up. That was a great example that he did. I'm telling you guys, so many times we get so fixed on heaven or hell that we forget about life today. Jesus didn't just die for heaven and hell. He died for life today. You don't have to have a depressed or in a unsuccessful, life, because he died. And just think about the death that he died. That was excruciating. I can't even imagine what really took place, because they only tell you so much. Even in a movie, they can only put in so much. But we will never know everything he had to experience, not just for us to have a choice of heaven or hell, but for us to live today. So let us not take that example lightly. Let us not take what he went through lightly. That is a powerful testimony that we need to be walking out every day that we get up. Every day that we get up, we need to say, I'll talk to myself, Camille, get up. If the devil's trying to attack my mind with a negative mindset, if he's trying to tell me I'm not valuable, if he's trying to tell me I'm not coming out, if he's trying to tell me God's not going to answer your prayer, God doesn't hear you, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to get up. I'm going to say, oh no, Satan, Jesus got up. He didn't stay low. He didn't stay in hell. He didn't do all that. He got up. So I'm going to get up too. So back off, Satan. Because I'm getting up. We need to get up on today. We need to rise up on today. We need to walk in the call that he's called us to on today. It's time out for looking to the left and looking to the right. It's time to get up and walk forward. Move forward in what he has called you to do. If you don't know your call, it's time to find out. It's time to get in your word. It's time to get in that prayer time. It's time to get in it and have communication and prayer time with him to find out why you're here. Because your purpose is not her purpose. His purpose is not his purpose. Yes, we are all supposed to be bringing people to the kingdom. Yes, we're all supposed to be doing these things, but each one of us have a specific purpose. It's time to find out what yours is. It's time to find out what it is and walk in it. Let us not be complacent with our gifts. Let us not be complacent with our talents. It's time to get up. Jesus rose. He didn't stay there. Jesus got up. If you don't like your financial situation, if you don't like the state that you're in, it's time to get up. Well, how do I do that? Hey, research. When you get in your prayer time, ask God. When you get some scriptures on how to plan a budget, on how to do your finances, on how to do, because sometimes it's not always about getting more, it's about managing what you have. Because sometimes he doesn't want to give you the more if it's going to hurt you because you haven't managed what you have. Let's manage what we have so that we have room and we have the wisdom to know what to do with more. Because remember, the more is not just for us, it's for others. When Jesus blesses you, he doesn't just bless you for you, he blesses you for generations. Everything he do is a plan, it's planned, it's thought out strategically, not just for this generation, but for generations to come. Not just for your house, but your neighbor's house. Not just for their house, but houses that are going to come three years after they've already left. That's how he's thinking, people. So, but we're so caught up on, hey, well, it didn't come right now. Hey, there's a timing. Why is there a timing? Because he's not just thinking about you. He's thinking about when he blesses you, how it's going to affect your kids, how it's going to affect your neighbors, how it's going to affect the example of people on your job when they know you got blessed. God is thinking generational, people. As my grandma used to tell me, Cammie, God got more kids than just you. That's what but that's so powerful because he does. He has more kids than just us. He's not just thinking about just us when he blesses us. He's thinking that when he blesses Camille, he can tell Camille what to do with this, and Camille can get blessed. And then her sister, her neighbor, the people at church can get blessed. When he blesses me, it doesn't just stay in my hands, it flows. See, he's all about moving. He's all about going to the next level. When he's talking about that river flowing in your body, his blessings flow. So he wants to bless people that's going to keep it moving. When he blesses you, what are you going to do with the blessing? He gave you talents. What are you doing with them? He gave you gifts. What are you doing with them? What are you doing with them? It's time to get up. It's time to get busy. It's time to walk in that call. It's time to come out of wherever you were. If you were in a bad situation, if you were in a bad relationship, okay, let's examine that relationship. Lord, is it me or is it them? Lord, what do I need to do here? Because I don't like where I'm at. I taught one message about if you don't like what you're reaping, change what you're sowing. Lord, what am I sowing that I'm reaping this? I need to change some things because I don't like what's going on and I don't think my life is pleasing you. So help me change me first, Jesus. Deal with me so that I can be better and not just bless me, but bless others. Because he wants none to perish. He don't want to just bless you and get you into heaven. He wants your kids. He wants your grandkids. He wants your third cousin. He wants your neighbor down the street. He wants everybody. So it's time for us to get up. It's time for us to rise. He is the example. He has risen. He did not stay in that situation. We don't have to either. So when the devil comes at you and tells you that this is never going to change, that this is all you're going to be, you can say, devil, you are a lie because Jesus got up. I'm going to get up too. Well, that's what I had this morning, baby. Go right ahead. I'm sorry.
Jesus took my whole message.
Amen and amen. Yes.
The reality is it goes right on. What she's talking about is getting up and walking in what we're supposed to walk in. What I had today is a lot of what you would hear all over the country today, but it's the message of Jesus, and he was crucified and he was risen. And the biggest thing that I want to get across is he's alive.
Yes.
He's alive and he's working in your life. We aren't serving a dead God. We aren't serving somebody that was here for a time frame and then gone. We are serving a living, miraculous, powerful, anointed God. And that's who we serve. And for us to walk in any other way, that puts you're a child of the King. You hear this all the time. I'm a child of the Most High King, and I can never get it right. But my daddy's got cattle on every hill. And I mess that up every time I go to say it. My daddy's got a lot of beef. I'm here to tell you, all over the place. And so it's one of God is God, and he's alive. And the way that he wants to work in your life, so many times we aren't following a living God. We aren't putting our faith in a living God. We're putting our faith in something that was taught to us, or we're putting our faith in a form of something. We're putting our faith in a form of religion. We're putting our faith in a man or a worshiper, a praiser, or whoever it is. And we're putting our faith in this, and we're not putting our faith in this living God.
Yes.
If I were to sit down and write Camille and I, since we've been together, and how many times we've had to count on God, it's pretty miraculous. It's pretty miraculous, the things that we've gone through and the things that have happened and the things that God has done. But the reason God does it is because we allow him to. We allow him to. We believe and we trust him. We have faith in him, and we want to grow. We want to move forward. It's not just about us. And as she was talking, and how it's just about us and staying where you are, and think of your little ones when you have your kids and they fall down and they scrape themselves. And you can have one kid that scrapes themselves and it is like, man, this thing's going to have to be amputated. They're going to have to take it off. This is the worst wound I've ever had. Kids will be bawling and squalling how bad that wound is. And, oh, it's just a little speck, barely even bleeding. It's a little red spot or something. And then you'll have another kid that falls down and scrapes himself up and gets up and dusts off and he's gone doing it. That don't mean nothing. We don't want to be that one that is focusing on a little bitty thing that has no significance in our life. Has no significance, so traumatic, so major, so horrible. But some of us are wired like that. We're designed like that. Sometimes we need to dust ourselves off and keep moving. You're going to take lumps. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get pushed over. It isn't always, rainbows and unicorns and butterflies and lovey and cheery and all these different. There's times that you got to fight. There's times that you get hit. There's times you got a black eye. There's times that you're walking with a limp. What do? Do you sit down and give up and say, I can't do that today? I've actually had to explain to people that wanted me to do their weddings, but in the past, and they would say, hey, I want you to do my wedding. I said, well, look, I got to fight like 2 weeks before that. So I may have a black eye. I may have, I may not look like your normal preacher because I have this going on in this month. But I've explained to them, I can be a little bit beat up. If you're all right with that, then I'm all right with doing it. But it's one of those of is it going to stop you? There's people that would be like, oh, I can't do that wedding. I might have a black eye, or I might have this. I can be about my daddy's business with a mouthful of teeth or one tooth in my head. I can be about my daddy's business. I can do what he wants me to do. It's all in my perception. It's all in who I am. And you hear me say over and over, you got to get that attitude. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. When the devil comes at you and he thumps you with a 2x4, or he pushes you down, or he does whatever, you have to get in your head. You can't stop me. Otherwise, you're going to lay there and take a beating. Otherwise, you're going to lay there until he's tired of beating on you, until he's just done beating on you, and it may destroy you. You have to get that, I'm not using a cliche, but you have to get that inner strength, and you have to dig deep, and you have to say, you can't stop me. You can't stop me. Do you know whose child I am?
Come on.
Do you know who I serve? I don't serve a dead God.
Yes.
I serve a living God, a powerful God. But so many of us don't give him the power that he deserves. So many of us don't give him what he expects from us. Because we're following a form of religion. We're following a form of a church. We're following this, we're following that. We need to follow Jesus. We need to realize he's not in a tomb. Too many people want to worship the created instead of the creator. Too many people want to find something, the first thing when you go to AA, they can say, oh, that doorknob can be your higher power. Oh, that over there can be your higher power. Well, if you want to worship a doorknob, that's up to you. But I have no desire whatsoever to put my faith in a doorknob. There's a living God. That's what got me clean. That's what got me sober. That's what got me to was my belief in I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. My belief in you can't stop me. And it has nothing to do with me, but it's the power in me. Do you know what motivates me? Do you know what keeps me going? There's been times, story after story of getting to a place, even like with Camille and I, in the last few years, I can remember finances and things changing and being like, all right, God, this is it. We have this in the bank. This is it. This is done. There ain't nothing else coming in. We've had every stream of income shut down. We have nothing. There is nothing at this point that we have, and we don't have anything coming in, Lord. We're trusting you. We are trusting you. And I've been in that situation and be at that point to the day and get a phone call. Oh, you know what? I haven't paid my tithes in like 5 years, and I want to pay my tithes to you guys. I want to tithe into your church. I want to tithe into your ministry. And it wasn't that we have this crazy, immaculate stuff that we're doing, but we believe in Jesus. We believe in God. We believe in that last minute, that last hour that he's going to come through. Even if we don't see it, you can lay awake at night and worry. You can lay awake at night and toss and turn and hope and wish, or you can be like, you know what, God, I'm going to sleep because I know you got it. I know you got it. And that's one thing that I've learned is he has it. There's nothing that I can do. I can't jump through a hoop to make it better. I can't do a dance routine to make it better. I can't do all this crazy stuff that is going to make it better. So it's one of, I have to trust God has it. And I trust God has it. I trust that he has us.